Buffalo Bills are not worrying about the Denver Broncos, and we can see this comment from Dan Orlovsky saying that Denver's 63 sacks are the most since Eagles Super Bowl team 2 years ago, who had 70. And actually going against the Denver Broncos in the past, just look how hard it is to break Josh Allen down on the run, falling to the ground, throwing a pass. I mean, whether it's Josh Allen hurdling, stiff-arming, diving for the touchdown, Josh Allen is so hard to break down. Now, the Denver Broncos are first in the NFL with 63 total sacks, but the Buffalo Bills are 18th with 39 total sacks. And what's interesting to note are the quarterbacks that were sacked the most in the NFL, and understanding that the Denver Broncos are going against the Buffalo Bills offensive line. The offensive line for the Buffalo Bills has done awesome things. You can see Josh Allen 35th in the NFL with being sacked only 14 times. Now, Bo Nix, on the other hand, he's been sacked a total of 24 times, 10 more times than Josh Allen. So this, to me, signals that the Denver Broncos offensive line clearly is not as good as the Buffalo Bills offensive line. Now, when looking at the total amount of sacks for both these teams, the Buffalo Bills defensive line clearly didn't get as many total sacks as the Denver Broncos, but we didn't necessarily have full health on this defensive line all year long. Von Miller and all these guys really finding their way, coming back this year. And then you really consider that the Buffalo Bills are going against an offensive line not as good as the Buffalo Bills. We should be able to inflate our sack total versus the Broncos. Dan Orlovsky and ESPN saying that this is the worst case scenario for the Denver Broncos to play the Bills and the Bills to play the Broncos because of how they match up. I wholeheartedly disagree. The Buffalo Bills, it is strength versus strength. The Bills' offensive line is elite, and on his own, Allen could escape the pocket and juke guys. We've seen it countless times how hard it is to bring Josh Allen down. And Josh Allen has done an amazing job taking care of the football so far in 2024. And even Rex Ryan on ESPN said yesterday that Josh Allen's touchdown to interception percentage in the playoffs in his career is one of the best. Now, what the national media should be eyeing up is the amount of turnovers for the Buffalo Bills, totaling 24 turnovers so far this season, leading the NFL by 8. Steelers are with 16. The Bills are ahead of them by 8 turnovers. So it's not just about takeaways by your defense or turnovers. It's the turnover. So it's not just takeaways by your defense. It's the turnover differential in the NFL. And clearly the Buffalo Bills are sitting pretty atop of the NFL with a 24-plus turnover differential. The Buffalo Bills have done an amazing job, only giving the ball away 8 total times. So the Denver Broncos are a +6 turnover differential, but they've given the ball away a total of 19 times. More than double the Buffalo Bills, the Denver Broncos have given the ball away to the opposing team. A lot of people are worried about Patrick Surtain of the Denver Broncos, and he is an elite athlete and a great cornerback for them. But the Buffalo Bills and Joe Brady's everyone eats offense, if you lock down one side of the field, that is what the Buffalo Bills have done all year long. We have found routine answers if you decide to lock anyone out. So if you want to scheme us and lock down one side of the field with Patrick Surtain and play double coverage on another one of our wide receivers, we have so many other threats, whether it's James Cook running the football or catching the ball out of the backfield, or Ty Johnson or Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox, Khalil Shakir in the slot. We have answers to no matter what the Denver Broncos want to do. And people are worried about Sean Payton and being such a great head coach against the Buffalo Bills, but last year when everyone was calling for Sean McDermott's head, I put together this graph, which is very, very interesting. But Sean McDermott versus Sean Payton, 2011 through 2016, through the Carolina Panthers versus the New Orleans Saints, they are very familiar with one another. And you could see that Sean McDermott versus Sean Payton, wins versus losses. Sean McDermott had 7 wins over Sean Payton, who had 5 wins during that time frame. And the point differential here, very interesting, but Sean McDermott versus Sean Payton, McDermott had 60 points, and also Sean Payton had 70 points. Sean McDermott had 7 wins over Sean Payton, who had 5 wins during that time frame. Let's not forget, Bo Nix is a rookie quarterback, and no rookie quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl or division title. And you can see just the history of rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs, just not too good. Here are all the rookies that have ever played in the playoffs, and you can take note that they all have a loss, meaning that they all lost. It says here that the majority are one and done, that 9 of 20 rookie quarterbacks who have started in the playoffs won at least one postseason game, 45%. Only 2, Mark Sanchez and Joe Flacco, won more than one playoff game. Rookie quarterbacks have a .355 winning percentage in playoff games. Only 6 quarterbacks like Sanchez, Flacco, and Big Ben made the conference championship game, but they all ended up losing and they did not make it to the Super Bowl. So yes, the Denver Broncos lead the NFL in total amount of sacks, and we haven't seen that many sacks going back 2 years to when the Super Bowl was won by the Eagles. But we have some other things to consider here, that the Denver Broncos are going against the strength of this Buffalo Bills team, the offensive line. Josh Allen, 35th in the NFL in the total amount of sacks. That means backups came into the game for other teams and they were sacked more than Josh Allen. Josh Allen and this offensive line is going to be well prepared for this Denver Broncos defensive line and their high sack totals. Now keep in mind, the Denver Broncos and their strength of schedule was pathetic, going against really poor teams and not really elite teams, right? So I think their stats going against young, experienced quarterbacks really inflated their sack total. And then you consider the turnover differential for the Buffalo Bills going against a young rookie quarterback who has never won a conference game or Super Bowl. The inexperience from Bo Nix going against Sean McDermott, who's familiar with Sean Payton. I just think the Buffalo Bills are going to be well prepared and clearly are not worrying about the Denver Broncos. I think this is the best matchup that the Bills could have asked for. Just imagine if we're playing the Cincinnati Bengals or if we're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, teams that we have struggled with, and I think that we have played in the past and we're familiar with one another. I think those types of games are really up in the air. But the Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills, I think, is the best situation for Bills Mafia in the first round of the Wildcard Playoffs. But I appreciate you guys all so much. If you enjoyed this video, I deeply appreciate it. If you hit like, subscribe, drop your comments down below about this matchup. Are you worried about the Denver Broncos and these stats and Patrick Surtain? I want to hear from you. Also, check the links down below. You guys can get $20 off this playoff game by going to SeatGeek.com and using promo code BNC at checkout. Just go to SeatGeek.com, use promo code BNC. That's concerts, NFL games, hockey games, whatever local event is in your area. Go to SeatGeek.com, use promo code BNC, and you'll get $20 off. Also, the BNC chicken wing merch, check it down below. You guys can get free shipping, sizes small all the way up to 5XL. But I appreciate you guys all so much. Hit like, subscribe, and go Bills.